Hello friends, this video on quadrilaterals part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let's understand some properties of parallelogram and let's take some activity. The first property of the parallelogram is, in fact the first property we already read, that is the sum of the angle of a parallelogram is 360 degree. The second property of the parallelogram is the diagonal of the parallelogram divides it into two congruent triangles. So if you have any parallelogram and if you create just draw a diagonal, then you will see that it divides this into two congruent triangles, right? So this, let's suppose this is A, B, C and D. So it will divide into two triangles, triangle 1 and triangle 2, and both this triangle 1 and triangle 2 will be congruent. That is what it says, and let's see if this is possible or not. So let's draw a parallelogram, draw a rectangle and cut it, right? So now we have done this on a piece of paper. So we have cut a parallelogram like this, and then actually we have drawn this diagonal, and from this it's similar to this, and we actually cut it. Now when you cut it, now we have to prove that these two triangles are congruent. So to prove this, we have to show that both these triangles can superimpose on each other. That means I can place exactly this triangle on this triangle, exactly, right, by rotating any of these triangles. So let's do that. Let's try to rotate this triangle, and you will see that these two triangles now exactly look same. You can actually superimpose this triangle on this. You can do it, and thus it proves that these two triangles are congruent just by activity. We'll try to prove using theorem. Just we are trying to do this using an activity, and I recommend you guys to pause this video and take your pen and paper and draw a parallelogram, and take a scissor, cut the parallelogram with a knife, draw the diagonal like this, and cut the diagonal, cut the parallelogram along the diagonal, and then you will see that you get two triangles, and then try to superimpose these triangles on each other, and you will see that these two triangles actually are congruent. Okay, this is an activity, so please perform this activity at your home. And with that, let's try to prove this, because this is a theorem, right? So we have to prove this. So let's take this parallelogram, okay, and let's mark the values A, B, C and D, and we have this diagonal here. So we have to prove that these two triangles are congruent, triangle 1 and triangle 2. So this is parallelogram, we know. So by definition, this angle will be equal to this angle. Why? Because they are alternate angle. DC is parallel to AB, so these angles are equal. Correct. Similarly, AD is parallel to BC, so this angle will be equal to this angle. Again, alternate angle, because these two are parallel lines, and DB is the transversal. Okay, now if you draw these triangles, draw these two triangles, and by the congruency concepts which we have learned in triangle chapter, so if you see this, the angle DBC is one triangle, okay, DBC, and then I can say here BDA, yeah, because angle D is equal to angle B here, and angle B here, this one is equal to angle ADB. Okay, so now if you see, if you just try to prove this two triangle, So we have to prove what? Angle CDB and triangle ABD are congruent, right? And what is given? Given is ABCD is parallelogram. I'll write like this: parallel and GM, parallelogram, just to save time. Okay, so we have to prove this. So we can see this in triangle CBD and triangle ABD. So we have already proved it. Now we'll just write. So we'll see that angle this is equal to angle this. I can see that angle CDB equal to angle ABD because they are alternate angle. Then side DB is equal to BD, common side, and then CBD is equal to ADB. CBD is equal to angle ADB. They are also alternate. Therefore, triangle CDB is congruent to triangle ABD, and by which rule? Angle side angle, ASA rule, and thus they are congruent. Pretty easy to prove, right? If you have done all the questions of the last triangular chapter, then this will not be a difficult question for you, right? If you have doubt or if you have difficulty in understanding this congruency, please watch the videos on congruency of triangles, where we have taken so many examples to talk about these different kinds of rule: ASA, SAS, SSS, all the different kinds of rule, RHS also, different kinds of rules for congruency of the triangle. Okay, so that is very important property of the parallelogram. That is, if the diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Okay. Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching.